Hello and welcome to the second athletes announcement of Red Bull X-Alps 2023. Now, yesterday we revealed the first 12 athletes to make the cut, and in a moment we shall be revealing the next 12 who will be at the start line of next year's race. We have a special guest rookie with us who's going to join us in a moment. She will be very interesting to talk to, but first we have the race's co-founder and chief organizer, Ulrich Grill. A warm welcome to you, Ulrich. Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, good. So Ulrich, we mentioned that next year is the 20th anniversary of the first ever race from 2003. Did you ever imagine you'd still be doing it in 20 years' time?
I think we were maybe hoping for it, but never envisioning that the race would grow into such largeness and became such a leading event in this kind of like adventure race. So definitely it's something that we are very happy about, that we've been always pushing the boundaries of what is doable with the athletes as well, and what the Alps offer us in terms of mountains, weather, landscapes, temperatures, weather changes and everything. So really, really stoked to be where we are right now.
What do you think have been the biggest changes that you've seen in the race and how it's evolved over the years?
When I think back like the past 20 years, almost 20 years, I think there's two things which jump into my mind right away. One thing is technology, equipment. Everything has changed ever since. In 2003, there was nothing like a hike and fly. So everything was super heavy, large. There were no real backpacks for that. So that has completely changed. When we look at the landscape of equipment right now, every manufacturer must have a glider, for hike and fly, which is super light. But then also the athlete's performance in terms of endurance, physical and mental abilities to be able to compete in such a race, that has evolved tremendously over the years.
I mean, could the early athletes from 2003, 2005, would you see those guys in today's race?
Well, we can see one, and that's Thomas Coconea, because he has been participating, ever since 2003. So there is one. But when I think of the ones who participated in 2003, if they would participate now, it would be very tough. It would be a completely different race these days.
Well, I think it's interesting. I think it's more interesting if we actually go and see who will be the next athletes in the race. So without further ado, let's see the next installment of athletes to make the cut.
Simon Oberauner, Austria 1. Elisabeth Egger, Austria 4. Andrei Prochaska, Czech Republic. Laurie Genovese, France 3. Tanguy Renaud Good, France 5. Maximilian Leudl, Germany 2. Celine Lawrence, Germany 3. Nicola Donini, Italy 3. Emoto Yuji, Japan. Tomo Coconea, Romania. Lennart Oblak, Slovenia. Patrick von Kernel, Switzerland 2.
So Ulrich, quick thoughts on those athletes we just announced, 4 women.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting actually, to see so many women coming into the race now. It makes us really wonder how good they will perform during the race, and whether we should create something like a category about women as well. So it's a great momentum. It's a great development that we see, and we just embrace women to come more and more into the race, because during the flying, they're not really any worse. I think they can just be up to the top athletes. And even in endurance, why should they be less good in the race as well? So I think it's only a matter of time when a woman is really competing at the top of the race.
Yeah, well, those are interesting questions, and we can, of course, put those in a minute to Celine Lawrence, who will be joining us in a minute. What about, there's also quite a lot of rookies. Is it important for the sport to always have new faces in the race?
Yes, it's always important to have new athletes in the race, not only because we need to have some new momentum and give opportunity to athletes, but they come with new strategies, with new approaches to the race as well. So it brings a new dynamic into the race, and it challenges the so-called veterans of the race as well. And when we look into the past history of Red Bull X-Alps, we always saw that sometimes like a rookie came into the race and really challenged a Kriegel Maurer, a Maxime Pinot, or a Paul Guschelbauer. They were immediately in the top 3 of the race. So yes, it is good to bring fresh blood into the race.
Now, you also mentioned Thomas Coconea earlier. He's done the race every year, every edition, and he's back in. Does he get a free pass, or does he have to pass the same criteria as everyone else?
Well, also Thomas needs to pass the same criteria because we need to make sure the race is safe, and every athlete that is participating, every athlete that has been selected fulfills those criteria. Thomas is a machine. He's been in the race, as you say, since 2003, ever since. So there's a lot of experience that he has, a lot of knowledge in the endurance, but also in the flying. And he placed in 2021. He was, I think, 13th in the race. So he was top 15, which for us automatically it makes him participate in the next edition.
Thanks, Ulrich. We'll leave it there. Now it's time to welcome our next guest. Now, she has come all the way from Garmisch-Partenkirchen. She's 24 years old, and she is competing in the Red Bull X-Alps for the very first time. She is Celine Lawrence. Welcome, Celine. It's great to have you here.
Hi, thank you.
Celine, how does it feel to be accepted into the world's toughest adventure race?
I'm super excited, and I still cannot believe that I'm in. Yeah.
Tell us, why did you want to do this race?
I want to do this race because I love adventure, I love the mountains, I love flying, and all combined with a challenge for myself, it's super nice.
Have you been flying for a long time?
I fly since 2015, so yeah.
And what was your reaction like when you found out that you're in the race? Was there a part of you that was like, yes, yes, but was there also another part where you're like, oh, this is quite scary?
Yeah, when I heard that I'm in, I freaked out. It was crazy. And for sure, there were also thoughts like, okay, was it the right decision? But I'm super excited, yeah.
So we've revealed that there are 4 women in the lineup already. There's Laurie Genovese and Yael Margolish from last year back, as well as Elizabeth Egger. How do you think you compare to those girls?
Yeah, it's a super strong girls, all World Cup pilots, and it's gonna be tough, but I'm really looking forward to race with them.
You've also had some pretty good results as well this summer, haven't you?
Yeah, I was first woman ever reaching goal in the Dolomiti Superfly, and yeah, it was also a crazy experience. It was really, really fun.
So do you think you've got what it takes to complete and do well in the Red Bull X-Alps?
Yeah, I think I got what it takes. And yeah, I already showed it like this summer. And yeah.
What do you think that is? What's your secret skill?
My secret skill is, I think, to stay calm in tricky conditions and to focus on like the safety and the next step. And yeah.
So you're still only 24, which makes you one of the youngest athletes in the lineup. Do you think that being youthful is an advantage or a disadvantage in this race?
I think being youth can be a big advantage. For sure, I cannot compare my experience with like Kriegel or something, but I think it can be a big advantage, yeah.
How so? Just your physical abilities?
Physical abilities, the mindset, and yeah.
Celine, we have to leave it there. Thank you very much. We look forward to following your progress. So that brings to a close the second athletes announcement. You can, of course, see all the athletes' profiles online and join the conversation yourself on our social channels. Let us know what you think. And then please do join us. Tomorrow we will be revealing the last batch and all of the final athletes to make the start line of the 2023 race. We look forward to seeing you then, same time. Until then, goodbye.